Hi, my name is Dan Schmitt, and this is Team Chicago Challenge. We're at Road Atlanta, and maybe it happens to WERA every year, but when WERA, Western Eastern Road Race Association, comes to Road Atlanta, whether they come in November or this year they're here in October, it's raining. And yesterday we ran the endurance race. It rained the entire race, and I got to ride some, Dave rode some, but it was maybe an hour and a half of real racing, or an hour and 40 minutes of real racing. So we're going to show you some of the highlights from that. And today we're also going to be looking at the Yamaha FZR Challenge for amateurs. We're going to watch that race too. And I tell you, it's raining. I don't know if I can say we're having a great time, but at least we're here. We're at Road Atlanta with Western Eastern Road Race Association. So let's go look at some of the endurance action from yesterday. As the riders lined up for the start of this 4-hour national endurance. We're running Dunlop rain tires, rain slicks. It's the first time we've had an opportunity to race in the rain. The teams are starting to leave the grid, the 5-minute board. 42 teams. You had to race at least 2 national endurances, and grid position was determined by point standings. We wait for the start of the 4-hour national endurance with the WERA Grand National Final at Road Atlanta. So they charge off into the first corner. Up front, it's like H&H Racing, and it looks like Kevin Runzel. As they race into the S's. Now up front, Team Suzuki. Number 10 is H&H. 39 is Northwest Honda. Number 2 is Team Pearls. They make this first lap. Everybody's checking out the rain tires. H&H though is on Dunlop 364 DOT tires because they're running Heavyweight Super Sport. Watch them going to the first corner. Like I said, we have not raced in the rain this year, and we have yet to use the rain tires. So Dave is out there checking out how much traction you can get from these Dunlop rain slicks. Swing back around, and after a few laps, red flag came out. The bikes were brought back into the pits. And now the track officials are inspecting each bike. Somebody dropped oil on the track. There's oil on the track. So we wait for the restart. Dave Hendrickson is back out there. We've got a better grid position. In the few laps, Dave got us moved up. We watch Dave going through the first corner. Now that he's used to these race slicks, rain slicks, Dunlops. You can see he rails around some of the other bikes. Team Suzuki's up front. Northwest Honda racing. Team Pearl Racing's running third. Number 6, it's like Ohio Superbike. Number 9 is RA Racing. And here comes Dave leaving this pack. Worked his way to lead the second wave. Starting to turn low 150s. 151 was his best time. He's really having big fun running rain slicks. Team Suzuki still up front. Put a good lead on. Northwest Honda still trying to make the move. Team Pearl. Wait for Dave Hendrickson. Looking up the track. Team Pearl is down. Red flag is out. Here comes Dave. So now in the next restart, Dave's going to be gone. And it's up to me at Road Atlanta. Got a better grid position. I'm in the second row. In the second wave, we moved up in the grid position. Team Suzuki jumps out front. Second wave is off. I'm about in the middle of the second wave, but I'm like trying to figure out how are these tires going to work. Just swing back around. Up front, H&H Racing with them Dunlop DOT tires is leading. Kevin Renzel. See, Team Pearl made the restart. Team Suzuki got a penalty. But when all was said and done, at this National Endurance, the final points overall, Team Suzuki became the champion again. Team Pearl was second. Northwest Honda Racing was third. Airport Racing fourth. HP Motorsports fifth. H&H Racing sixth. Airlight Racing was seventh. RA Racing was eighth. Ninth went to Custom Racing. 10th went to Ohio Superbike Racing. Team Chicago ended up 11th in Middleweight Superbike after running 5 races. And overall, we made the top 40, running half the season. We finished 39th, and in 1996, we're looking forward to doing the entire season.
Now let's jump ahead to 2002, raining again at Road Atlanta. But Team Chicago is ready as we are fighting for the championship in Middleweight Superstock. We are ready for the rain, and we're going to take the start. Phil Young is providing some of the helmet cam.
The start of the final GMD CompuTrack National Endurance at Road Atlanta. Phil had to start from the back row. He only ran 1 race. He only had points from Putnam Park. Riders go through turn 1 and head up to turn 2. It's like Trey Beatty, and he had WERA Suzuki up front, number 1. 1,000 Suzuki, second place, WERA 2, and they're also on a 1,000 Team Extreme. Williams Racing, Steve Carson moving into 4th place on the Team Chicago. 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha. Army of Darkness is moving up. Heading to turn 6. Phil makes it over the crest, passing some traffic. It is raining. Phil made a mistake. He went with Dunlop DOT street tires. He should have changed the rain tires. Up front, WERA Suzuki, second place. WERA Suzuki 2, both on 1,000, sponsored by WERA Brakes, Suzuki, Wantana, Nielsen Enterprise, Pirelli, Fujiko. Looks like Team Extreme is having a problem making move is William Racing. Right down as they approach the bridge. Phil heads down to the front straightaway. Up front with WERA Suzuki, 3rd place. Team Extreme, Williams Racing, 4th place. Steve Carson and the Team Chicago, 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha. Yamaha Dealers is running a solid 5th. Army of Darkness is running in 6th. Up front, WERA Suzuki, Trey Beatty. Suzuki 2 is running 2nd. Steve Carson running 5th. Infotech is running right up front. Loudon Motorsport, number 4, trying to get by. 85 is battling with 118. 85, Team Life, and they made a mistake in their tire choice. In our racing, I'm right behind 29 Dreams. They're sponsored by 29 Dreams Motorcycle Resort, Bridgestone. See J&J Motorsport. They're running a solid race. They've got the championship wrapped up in the Heavyweight SuperStock Class. The Army of Darkness is now battling the Team Out of Sight. The Team Out of Sight is that one team that got ahead of me. Team Out of Sight is now leading. They're in 8th place and they're leading Middleweight SuperStock. I get around Joe Malinese. The Dunlop Brain tires are working great. The bike's looking good and I'm running good. We're in 9th place. Team Velocity 120. We thought they'd be a threat, but they're running into problems. As we get at the 2 hours and 30-minute point, up front, 57. With the rain suits, I can't tell you who's on the bikes. It's like John Jacoby's on the number 1 bike as Phil Caldwell comes by on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha dealers. But on the charge, Team Extreme on the Pennzoil, Motorsport Graphic, EBC, Tabaki, Vezra, Pitbull, Tsunami. They have moved up to 2nd place. They are on the charge. 29 Dreams, running a good solid race towards the end of 3 hours of racing at Road Atlanta. Phil Caldwell comes by in the 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha. We're in 11th place, 2nd in class. Team Life, our competitors, come by. This is not a good race. Jason's on the bike. They have dropped back. Towards the end of 3 hours of racing, Vezra Suzuki is up front. Team Extreme is running 2nd. Vezra 2 is running 3rd. Velocity Crew is 4th. Northern Getaway 5th. Team Extreme 2 is running 6th. Ridge Racing is 7th. Army of Darkness is 8th. Loudon Motorsports is 9th. Team Out of Sight is in 10th place. Team Chicago, we're 11th. Infotech is running 12th. He's going to take the bike and do battle at Road Atlanta. Team Extreme making their final pit stop. It's Team Extreme Pennzoil, Motorsport Graphic, EBC. Is Steve Carson chasing down Team Out of Sight. Steve Carson moves to the lead. The Middleweight SuperStock. We are now leading the race as we get towards the end of 4 hours of racing at Road Atlanta. Red flag comes out. 10 minutes left in the race. A bike went down, is laying in the track. The red flag flies, and that will end this 4-hour GMB CompuTrack WERA National Endurance at Road Atlanta.
Team Life number 85 made the wrong tire choice as we see Vezra Suzuki picking up the championship again in 2002. Steve Carson pulls into the pits, wondering how did we do. Phil congratulates him. That's Phil Caldwell. We have won the championship. We now have 768 points. Team Life has 744. We came into this race 9 points down. We leave 24 points ahead. We are the 2002 Middleweight SuperStock champions as the bikes return to the pits. Army of Darkness is celebrating, doing a burnout. And now we're going to jump back to 1995 as I interview Boyd Bruner, and he's going to tell us about the Yamaha FZR Challenge.
1995, Yamaha changed their series from the Seika series over to the FZR series, and it opened it up to a lot more riders. Their FZR has been made since 1989, and you can run them from 89 all the way up to 1995. And one of the riders that has competed in about 7 or 8 of these events has now qualified 4th in the points but you get paid for every event you race. They do have a purse, but this is the one that will determine the WERA, Novice, Yamaha FZR Challenge Series. And you're fourth in points now, and how much money are they paying out for this event?
They're paying out $15,000 total, first place being $5,000. So that's what I'm going for, first place.
Okay, so how many of the races have you raced this season?
I think I've raced 8 of them, won 3 of them, a bunch of seconds and thirds.
Okay, so what we got here from all over the country, all the riders that have qualified and been invited by running the series during the year, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now what have you done with your bike? I mean, they allow you to run super bike rules, so what does that mean?
Basically, you can do anything you want to it, except you have to keep the stock engine cases in the frame. It's not really my bike, so I'd like to thank Brian for letting me use it. I've changed the size of the engine, a little work in the head, courtesy of Steve Carson. I've also changed the wheels in the front end on it, so it's a little more competitive.
Okay, now you got to go out and practice. I see you got rain tires on here, and it's raining. And you said yesterday you hope it rains today. So, first of all, what do you think of these Dunlop rain tires?
I love the rain tires. My bike's a little down on speed, so I think it helps that it's raining. Everyone's going to slow down a little bit. I like the rain, but I'm not totally comfortable with the track, so I'll have to see what happens.
Okay, well, like me, this is the first time you ever been to Road Atlanta, and I think yesterday before I rode the endurance, I had 2 laps of practice. And how many laps of practice have you had now?
About 10.
Yeah, and this is a pretty complicated track, and you got the real fast back section, and it's like you got to figure out how long do you hold the gas on, can you hold it on? Besides these S's, these switchbacks they have, I mean, it's a pretty complicated track.
It's definitely pretty complicated.
And fast, then.
Very fast.
Yeah. So what do you think your chances are? I mean, some of these riders you have raced against, was there anybody you noticed fast out in practice that you've never raced against? I mean, like a local guy or?
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 local guys that were really flying. They went by me, and I decided to hang up with them, but it's a little slippery, so I'll see what happens in the race.
Okay, well, we'll be watching you out there, and maybe you'll be taking home the biggest amount of the Yamaha money, contingency money.
I hope so.
Okay, good luck, and we'll be watching you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan.
We'll watch the start of the Yamaha FZR 600 Challenge Race at Road Atlanta with Western Eastern Road Race Association. Winner picks up $5,000. We now pick up the action in the back section. This short straight that leads into 2 right-handers, which leads to the 5,000-foot back straightaway. Scott Carpenter is up front. 118 is giving him a challenge. This really shows the horsepower, but you can see there's starting to be a drying line. It has stopped raining. The track is now drying. Boyd Bruner's running about 7th place. He followed my Dunlop rain slicks, but they're starting to develop a dry line, as you can see. It's going to wreak havoc on some of these riders. 118's up front, 111, Scott Carpenter's right behind them. 3rd place looks like Adam Sweelow, maybe. We got a yellow flag out. A couple riders have gone down. Watch this other rider. Another rider that probably has not raced in wet conditions before. As we swing over on the back straight, a red flag came out. Riders have gone down. Scott Carpenter is 111. .539, that's Robert Richards. We've seen him racing this year. 134, Boyd Bruner. And you will see we're starting to develop a dry line, but there was oil down on the track. And after 1 hour, they restart this race on a dry condition, but everybody had a chance to change their tires. So now everybody's on slicks or DOT tires. Come down the back straight. Early
league leader, number 200. That's Adam Sweetlow. Boyd Bruner's in second place. As you see this horde of 5 Yamaha FZRs chasing them down. Looks like they got a little bit more power than Boyd's got. Watch them go to gravity cavity out of my range. They come out under the bridge, moving now up front. They have 380, John Jacoby. Missed it. Boyd has now slipped back to 7th place. Some of these guys really had their bikes prepared. There's a bike that's got a slow start. It's Jeff Costello. Check him out on the back straight now. Going into the 2 right-handers. Positionings are changing. Now up front, 639. Right behind him, making his way through, is James Hacking. Scott Carpenter's up there, John Jacoby, Adam Sweetlow. Boyd has now moved back to around 7th or 8th place. Definitely getting motored out here. To come under the bridge. .539, Robert Richards. I don't think that was him. Scott Carpenter, but moving through traffic, who started on the 3rd row, or the 3rd wave, Jamie Hackings. Mitch Truitt is in 17th as we swing back and watch some of the riders going down this front straightaway at Road Atlanta in this Yamaha FCR 600 Challenge. A big field started, over 40 bikes. We see the battle up front now. Coming through these 2 right-handers. Moving up front now is 267. That's Jamie Hackings. Number 111 is Scott Carpenter. Wait for Boyd Bruner. Boyd is trying to work his way through traffic. But as you can see, everybody's got a little bit more motor. But I'm sure Boyd's having a good time, even though he's not picking up the money. But picking up the win was James Hacking, 2nd place, Scott Carpenter. John Jacoby was 3rd. Adam Seedwell was 4th. Colin Chavez was 5th. Robert Richards 6th. Philip Caldwell was 7th. 8th was Andrew Rapp. And Boyd Bruner ended up 9th. Another added event at this WERA Grand National Final was the Triumph Speed Triple Challenge. Up front is Trip Nobles. On these 900 Triumph Speed Triples, the whole field. 2nd place was Adam Lewis. David McGrath was 3rd. Paul Brown 4th. Sean Hegby was 5th. Fritz Klein was 6th. Michael Barnes was 7th. They race on these 900 Speed Triples. This is a very popular series in Europe, and they're bringing it to America. So for 96, we'll be watching the Speed Triples racing the entire series. Oh, we got one that went down, but looks like it's in pretty good shape. It landed in the mud. Doesn't look like any damage. A little muddy. Special thanks to Amy Pankowski and Steve Carson for their camera work. Music for the show provided by Engine, Mike Breach, Travesty, and Intrigue, and all is recorded at Fireside Studios, Westchester, Illinois, as Trip Nobles went on to pick up the win.
Yes, Amy Pankowski and Steve Carson helped me shoot some of the video in 1995 and 96. Dennis Torres started providing me with great footage in 1997 all the way to 2007. Dennis helped make the Team Chicago Challenge TV show look great. For more information on WERA, America's road race leader, their website is WERA.com. WERA.com. And to contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. And I highly encourage you to visit the World Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winnemac, Indiana, just off Indiana 39, 4 miles south of North Judson. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great collection of motorcycles and a great day trip to go to World of Motorcycle Museum.